Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of 284 News. I'm Ron Grant, bringing you the latest out of Tortola within the Virgin Islands. Thank you so much for joining us. Making the headlines this week, a local talk show host says this: the Elmore South High School is in trouble. The observation was made by Kishma PENN, host of the radio program Speak Out BVI. For a very long time, education officials have had to grapple with many disturbances at the school, and on many occasions, the police had to be called in. Arrests have been made and students suspended. PENN was particularly speaking about a recent incident where a teacher was attacked and beaten by a student.
Whether provoked or unprovoked, when a child puts forward violence towards an adult, that's a serious problem. And I was made to understand that the young man is 18 years old. Now I understand that there are a lot of mitigating circumstances around the situation, but let me say this to the parent, and I hope the message gets out there. And although it's unfortunate what has happened, and although the situation, your son really and truly needs help, and your son really and truly does deserve an education, his education cannot come at the cost of the discipline of the other 1,500 students in the school. If your son can be allowed back into the school, which I understand he's been expelled, but if your son was to be allowed back into the school, then all the other teachers would automatically be at danger. How then do you stop another student who feel like a teacher ain't talking to them in the right way from that cold, cocking them the same way that young man did to that teacher? And so for the people them and to the parent, it's a difficult position to be in. It's your child, you want to defend your child, but some of us have to admit when our children make missteps. Some of us don't like it. Some of us want to say, yes, it's your job. You want to protect them. You want to give them a second chance. You want to offer them all the second chances known to man. That is very, very necessary. I understand that, and I understand the offering second chances. Sometimes a second chance ain't to go back to the place where you created the act. Sometimes the second chance is the fact that you're out of that institution, and the second chance is now you gotta spend your money to get your now you gotta spend your money to get your education. Some of y'all want us to give second chances that will cost lives.
PENN says the Elmore South High School has gotten to a point where it is out of control for the administrators. She says there is need for more security measures at the school.
And y'all need metal detectors, y'all need more security, y'all need a proper perimeter fence around the school, and y'all need things. And I don't want to train them to feel like criminal. Up in the United States, they train them going through metal detectors before them go inside because them try and stop guns from going in there. It will only be based on what is happening. If a student could reach to the point of hitting a teacher and assaulting a teacher like that, it's only a matter of time before them start bringing guns on the campus and start shooting children at school. There are too many guns in this country. There are too many uncollected guns off the street. And there are too many children who have access to things they ain't got no access to.
AURI-ANA ELSHABBAZ is the new junior tourism ambassador. ESHS is winning for a third consecutive time. Now 7 students and 5 schools competed head-to-head for the title of the 2025 Junior Ambassador of Tourism on Wednesday of this week. This is the third consecutive time that the Elmore South High School has won the competition. She gave a compelling argument on how BVI can diversify its tourism product.
The BVI is a beautiful island destination filled with white entrancing beaches and clear waters. But we have the potential to offer so much more to those who seek to visit. To diversify our tourism experience, we must leverage the many historical sites throughout the BVI and reinvigorate them by incorporating elements of living history. Our first initiative imagines a resurrected craft alive, where tourists will be immersed in our culture. Envision booths painted with colorful murals that illustrate our shared history, and the implementation of makers' windows and booths to display traditional practices such as cane juicing, rag weaving, bread making, and jewelry making, with the accompaniment of live performances by our heritage dancers and fungi bands. This initiative will not only leave tourists entranced by our culture, but provide the BVI with a new revenue stream through the sale of products made by our skilled artisans.
The second place winner was also a student of the Elmore South High School, Roman Nibs, who was the lone male, and observers say he gave an exceptional performance that will not be forgotten. The competition was organized by the BVI Tourist Board and Film Commission. Come Sunday, June 1st, Upper Main Street, which spans from the foot of Joe's Hill to the E.A. Creaky store, will become a two-way street. Minister for Communications and Works, the Honorable Kai M. Reimer, told motorists and pedestrians that once the change takes effect, parking will no longer be permitted on Upper Main Street. Minister Reimer said the change will provide an outlet to get persons in and out of the town in a more efficient manner.
When we did the traffic turnaround, it was done so that traffic would flow a bit more efficiently in Rural Town. I know you travel and you see traffic go in one direction once you're in the city, and we took that model. It was something that was sitting for quite some time because we thought it would work, and I think it works well in terms of getting the traffic out of town. But we've seen where there's a bottleneck, and we are working to get that traffic out of town. And it also would aid with the emergency services as well, because there are times when the traffic is backed up there, ambulance is trying to get through, and so we need a different outlet, and hence we are going to turn the traffic two-way in that short area.
The stores which operate in that area have expressed concerns about access to their establishments for customers. However, Minister Reimer spoke about the shuttle service which would be in place.
We'll encourage persons to park at the festival grounds or park along the route wherever they can, but the shuttle service would be making that loop and taking persons to their jobs, do their shopping, and wherever else in that area. So on June 1st, we'll be working in tandem with the police. We'll have the signs erected, and we'll, see the traffic turnaround at that time on June 1st.
Okay.
So I just want the public to know that, this is basically to get the traffic out, emergency situation, and get that flow, and ease the traffic in the city at that time. And what the public should understand as well is, in 2020 we had 17,000 plus vehicles licensed. In 2024, at the end of 2024, we are short of 20,000.
Right.
So it shows that there's a huge growth in terms of the number of licensed vehicles within the territory.
During a recent interview with 284 Media, this year's Mr. and Miss HLSCC pageant contestants revealed ambitious plans to create transformative campus clubs. Dakari Wheatley Adams, a small business and entrepreneurship student, proposes an interview preparation club aimed at equipping students with essential communication skills.
I think I'd create probably an interview prep club or somewhat like a public speaking initiative to help students because that's pretty much how every career starts, with an interview with either a boss or a supervisor. So I think an interview class or kind of prep session would kind of help with that.
Meanwhile, Shamai Peters, a culinary arts student, advocates for youth empowerment clubs, emphasizing the importance of nurturing young talent.
It would be youth empowerment. That would be the title of the club. I picked that club because I believe that we should shape our youths. We should always encourage our youths, as I'm for the young people. So I believe we should always include our youths in everything that we do. Because our youths, our youth is for the future.
Now on the Miss HLSCC contestant side, Kimia Chung plans to launch a Mind Matter club focusing on peer mental health support. Chung wants to create a safe space where students can discuss their experiences and learn coping strategies.
I would love to open a Mind Matter club. It basically is for peer help, so students can talk to each other about what they're going through, different experiences, feel as though they're one, a sense of unity, and also have something to fall back on in case they need help. And I would also like it to bring a bit of mental health education, so different coping skills and things they can learn on how to help with it.
Shakira Hendrickson aims to establish an entrepreneurship club to inspire students to consider self-employment and business ownership, reflecting her own entrepreneurial spirit with her Virgin Islands-themed phone case brand.
If I were to start a club or organization on campus, it would be centered around entrepreneurship.
Okay.
Because I would like students to really, I would like to get them involved in making their own businesses as opposed to working a regular 9 to 5, or I would like them to work for themselves or inspire them to consider working for themselves.
The Mr. and Miss HLSCC pageant will take place on June 1st at the Alina Parsons Auditorium. The CARICOM Badge initiative was officially launched on April 26, 2025, introducing a regional emblem of pride, service, and youth empowerment. Delivered during a special address by CARICOM Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett, the initiative was presented as a powerful step toward unifying young people across the Caribbean through shared values and identity.
Ms. Ashley Lashley, Barbados' female CARICOM Youth Ambassador, young people of the region, ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to address you today for the official launch of the CARICOM Badge Initiative. This project is a compelling collaboration between the Caribbean community and its Youth Ambassadors program, the Girl Guides, and the Boy Scouts associations. It is a bold step highlighting regional unity, cultural appreciation, and youth empowerment, spearheaded by Ms. Ashley Lashley, Barbados' Youth Ambassador. I commend Ms. Lashley for her vision, dedication, and leadership on this transformative initiative, which embodies the attributes of unity and service, which we seek to encourage and support in our young people. The badge being distributed today is a symbol of our shared Caribbean identity and a call to action for our young people to become passionate advocates for our community. This initiative embodies the spirit of collaboration, which is essential to progress. At the heart of CARICOM's mission is the commitment to nurture our youth and equip them with the skills, knowledge, and values necessary to lead our community into a brighter and more prosperous future.
Dr. Barnett praised the initiative as a bold collaboration between the CARICOM Youth Ambassadors Program, the Girl Guides, and the Boy Scouts associations. She stated that empowering youth is central to CARICOM's mission, highlighting the role young people must play as both today's changemakers and tomorrow's leaders.
Young people are not just tomorrow's leaders, they are also today's changemakers. CARICOM has long prioritized youth development. The Declaration of Paramaribo on the Future of the Caribbean Youth affirms that they are invaluable assets, dynamic change makers, and the very source of our sustainable development for our region. Through policies, programs, and initiatives such as the CARICOM Youth Development Action Plan and our Youth Ambassador Program, the Secretariat continuously advocates for the inclusion of youth voices in regional decision-making and leadership opportunities. CARICOM remains committed to investing in our youth. We remain steadfast in our support for initiatives such as these that nurture the potential of young Caribbean citizens and create platforms for their growth and development.
Dr. Barnett reaffirmed that youth are invaluable assets and the cornerstone of the region's sustainable development. She cited key initiatives like the CARICOM Youth Development Action Plan and Youth Ambassador Program as platforms that enable young people to contribute meaningfully to regional governance and leadership. Dr. Barnett also recognized the achievements of Caribbean youth in various fields.
Across our region, there are countless stories of Caribbean youth who have defied the odds, overcome challenges, and achieved remarkable success. Young people from our region are included in the roll call of athletes who dominate the world stage, artists who captivate audiences with their creativity, and entrepreneurs who are driving innovation and economic development at home and abroad. I urge the Girl Guides and Boy Scouts receiving the CARICOM badge today to wear it with pride and responsibility. You are ambassadors of our Caribbean values and champions of cooperation, cultural diversity, and resilience. Let this moment inspire you to continue to embrace leadership roles and advocate for positive change in your communities. The future of our region lies in your hands.
She closed with a message to the badge recipients, urging them to wear their CARICOM badge with pride and responsibility and to continue leading with resilience, cooperation, and cultural pride.
My name's Henry Bosch. I work for PPG. I'm here to explain to you the use of the Deltron NXT paint line and Enviro-based high performance, one being solvent-borne and the next being waterborne. The difference is that one is totally manufactured with rosins and thinners and all the good stuff that solvents bring versus our new technology, which is waterborne, which is 100% latex. What we're gonna do is that we reduce the solvent-borne with a DT885, which is a mid-temp reducer, and the waterborne uses T494, which is a waterborne reducer. We will today be using either DCU 2042, which is a speed clear, or we will be using DCU 2021, which is a classic. We have here our equipment. We have 8-ounce measuring cups, and we also have our 32-ounce mixing cup. We will also have with us our Venturi. This is a blower for us to dry the waterborne paint, which speeds up the process. The good thing about waterborne paint is that as soon as it evaporates, you're good to go. So now Gilligan will dilute the waterborne paint with the waterborne reducer. We made 8 ounces, that would be 1.6 ounce. It always has to be properly mixed until we get an even mixture within the paint mixing cup. So when we spray, we don't see uneven coats of color. So right now we're filling our paint gun with 8 ounces of diluted paint. We're gonna see how far 8 ounces will take us. Waterborne paint seems to look blotchy on your first coat. Don't pay no mind to that. Don't try to achieve full coverage on your first spray. Excellent. Let it dry. So the process in waterborne is 2 even coats, and then we have what we call a dust coat. Well, now we're gonna have Mr. Brown apply the first coat of clear on his waterborne panel. We'll let it flash off, and then he'll come back and coat it with his second coat to finish it off. As you had seen in the previous shots, we had a little blotchiness, and you'll see some patches. That's all due on purpose to sandpaper to prove that with Enviro-based high performance, all technicians, the body work has to end at 800 grit or plus. Well, Enviro-based is like we're trying to shift everyone into that slowly but surely. The entire west coast of the United States and all of Canada has already been on waterborne for the past 10 years. And now soon it'll be the eastern seaboard, which covers the Caribbean. So when that happens, we'll all be affected. So it's best to start now, start trying and applying waterborne, because eventually everyone will be on it. And referring to technicians, it's less harmful because it doesn't have all the toxic chemicals that solvent-borne paints do.
During a recent interview promoting the upcoming Ride for Life event, which focuses on promoting safe bike practices, the VI Alzheimer's Association, a major partner for the event, highlighted the growing concerns on traumatic brain injury. Founder of the VI Alzheimer's Association, Ms. Edna Williams, spoke on the severe impact.
Traumatic brain injury is a sudden jolt to the head or a blow to the head, where that soft tissue called the brain is hitting against that hard skull. So therefore, brain cells, nerve endings are being damaged. And once they're damaged, over time, it will have an effect on the individual. And that's where brain health comes in. So persons who are being abused, spousal abuse, where there's battering to the head or kick to the head, child abuse, that's another one, sports injury, where the soccer players are heading or even just being tossed down, martial arts. I would also say what's called shaking the baby syndrome. Mm-hmm. Sometimes many parents get angry with the child and shake them. That soft brain is hitting against a hard skull. So brain cells can be damaged. And once those brain cells damage, over time, you will see and experience changes in the behavior of the individual. Some of them will be the same as any dementia. difficulties with cognition, understanding and recognizing what they're doing. It will take them much longer to do things because the processing of information will take longer. Memory will be affected. There will be behavior change with the number of them.
She also highlighted the importance of riders wearing helmets in order to protect the brain from injury.
All this goes in line with the whole thing of scooter riders. That's why it's important to wear a helmet. When my events team was meeting and we were looking for a June brain health activity, that came up because we were tired of hearing about vehicle and scooter accidents. And it scares us because it's on the increase. And because it's on the increase, that means at some point in the future, the number of persons and the number of young persons will have some form of dementia at a younger age. So we then therefore made a decision that we were going to focus on that.
The inaugural Little Mr. and Miss Hawk Pride pageant held by the Eunice Adams Primary School took place last weekend. The pageant, which featured young students from the school, was made possible by the generous support of attendees, sponsors, and the school's dedicated parents. A special note of gratitude was directed towards the parents and contestants whose support and trust in the event allowed their children to take center stage. Each child brought incredible energy and enthusiasm, embodying the true spirit of Hawk Pride. While every participant stood out, a special congratulations was extended to the first ever Little Mr. and Miss Hawk Pride winners, Detroit Hector and Kia Marie Bruley. Here's a look at the contestants in their creative wear segment.
His suit, a bold and deliberate shade of regal purple, is no mere garment. It is a declaration of grace, of presence, of a legacy being carefully and proudly shaped. And as the sunlight dances through the teacups and lavender blooms, a delicate glimmer revealed itself, gold threaded discreetly within, like the subtle strength.
His outfit exudes confidence and class, with a plaid jacket and a matching hat that complete his elegant look. It's a bold statement of style and promise, the mark of a young gentleman being molded with care and intention by the Eunice Adams Primary School community. Tonight, Detroit is more than just a contestant. He's a vision of the future. Ready to soar high?
Channels the iconic flair of Willy Wonka with a modern regal twist. He commands attention in a dazzling purple sequin fishtail tuxedo, glimmering with every step under the lights. His look is grounded with sleek charcoal gray slacks and a crisp white button-down shirt, creating a
The enchanting dress features a sophisticated bodice that elegantly frames collarbone and shoulders, offering a timeless, regal appearance. The boat neckline is tastefully embellished with intricate 3D floral appliques and flowers, each delicately embroidered and highlighted with shimmering sequins. These floral accents.
Her dress is a stunning explosion of color and dimension. The gold at the bottom flows like a blooming flower, made from fabric inspired by the delicate textures of a magical garden. From her waist, shining gold feathers cascade upward, mimicking a hawk's powerful wings, lifting her into a world of whimsy and wonder.
Let your imagination
imagination fly high in a flutter of mauve magic. Dressed to impress in beautiful shades of purple with sparkling.
Do you ever make it out of your head? Do you still swim in your thoughts? Do you still mistake your flaws for property? Something that just don't sit right with you. But heaven knows, your wings can.
And that is it for this weekend's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for your daily news updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and X, formerly Twitter. I'm Ron Grant, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a safe and enjoyable evening. Happy Saturday. Goodbye.